What is up, everybody? Welcome to the channel. In this video, I'll be going over my 3 best NBA picks, as well as all my leans in today's slate. We are on a generational run. We actually cannot stop winning, sweeping back to back on our free picks, hitting every single play once again. So you guys know what that means. Let's pick our YouTube random comment winner. So pick a random YouTube comment. Congratulations to Florida Vibes. Brother, you're my dude. You paid my truck payment. Congratulations to you, my man. You just won 25 bucks in 2 weeks of free VIP. So make sure to message me in the Discord or email me at bankobrianbets@gmail.com and I'll get you hooked up. But let's just jump into the recap real quick. So jumping into the recap, in my last free pick video, I gave you guys Jalen Brunson over 24.5 points, Joel Embiid over 25.5 points, and Donovan Clingan over 26.5 points, rebounds, and assists. Jalen Brunson, he made it a little sweaty, but with the volume he was going to get, he eventually gets it done in the fourth quarter. He was shooting so bad in the first half, but Jalen Brunson, so clutch, gets it done in the fourth quarter. Joel Embiid, absolutely sweat free. Maybe Victor Wembanyama getting injured helped, but he was cooking in the first half anyway. And he soars over, dropping, I don't know why, I think Underdog is tripping. He definitely dropped more than 31 points. And then Donovan Clingan, easy over against this matchup, drops 29 PRA. So swept again. Congratulations to everyone that has been cashing with us. In the VIP side, you guys can see also cash on Karl-Anthony Towns of Donovan Clingan. I was very confident on Clingan today, which is why I anchored him in some of my slips. So you guys can see cash this 2-man here. Also cash Brunson with Donovan Clingan. And yeah, this play, I'm waiting on Paul Reed. I'm not waiting on Paul Reed, my bad. I'm waiting on this tennis play for Casper Ruud to cash this 2-man out. Paul Reed gets 6 rebounds. Oh yeah, this play right here, Joel Embiid, sweat free, 34 points. I don't know why they pulled DeGrom early. He still his pitch count was really healthy still. He definitely could have gone one more inning, but I don't know why they pulled DeGrom out. There should have been another 2-man cash. But yeah, guys, if you guys are interested in the VIP group, you guys can see we are up 190 plus units of profit this NBA season. My $50 bettors are up $9,500 plus of profit. So if you guys are interested in the VIP group, this is the Discord where we post our plays. Me and my team in these channels. You'll also get access to the VIP chat where we have a great community, and you guys can see all the wins flowing from our VIP members. We do all sports, NBA, tennis, MLB, etc. So if you guys are interested in the VIP group, you guys can claim a 50% off promo if you guys use code BACK2BACK SWEEP. Since we swept again, I'm opening one final sale, guys. You guys see my track record. You guys can see the wins. So code BACK2BACK SWEEP for any of our VIP passes here. And my best deal is going to be in the lifetime access, guys. So if you guys use code BACK2BACK SWEEP, you guys can get 70% off, which is just insane value. Getting a lifetime worth of picks from our team and me. After NBA is over, we're still doing MLB, WNBA, tennis, esports, etc. But yeah, let's just jump into today's free picks. So we're looking for the 3-peat today. Today's pick is going to be on parlay play. So let's just jump into my first pick, which is going to be Dante DiVincenzo over 17.5 points, rebounds, and assists. So jumping into Props Madness, guys, the best research tool on the market for researching your NBA player props. If you guys are interested in this tool, you guys can use code BANKOBRIAN for 25% off. Link will also be in the pinned comment and the description. But jumping to my first pick, Dante over his PRA, so you guys can take a look. In his last 20 games, he's over in 10 out of his last 20, averaging 16.9 points, rebounds, and assists. And now, he faces the Pacers. So he has gone under in 3 consecutive games, but I think this is a perfect matchup for Dante DiVincenzo to bounce back. But first of all, you guys can take a look at the injuries. Anthony Edwards is out. Without Anthony Edwards, He's over this line in 14 out of his last 18 games, averaging 21.7 points, rebounds, and assists. Now, keep in mind, recently, with the addition of Ayo Dosunmu, that has taken some usage away from Dante. But I still think this is a great spot for Dante to go over today. You guys can take a look. This Pacers defense is absolutely terrible. Allows the second most PER rate to his position. They play at the 8th fastest pace, which is going to allow for more possessions, more scoring, rebound, and assist opportunities for Dante. And if you guys take a look at shooting zones here, shot type analysis, you guys can see a ton of red from above the break, which looks scary, but keep in mind this is the season data. Over the last 15 games, they now allow the 13th most points to catch and shoot, the 12th most points above the break. And yeah, this is just a very, very, very good matchup for Dante. If you guys also take a look at his play type analysis, spot up, they defend pretty well, but transition, off screen, handoff, pick and roll, free throws, absolutely terrible. And if you guys also look at head to head against this team, he already dropped 22 points, rebounds, and assists. And historically, he has a great history against this team, but I don't really look into that. Guys, head to head doesn't matter like that, but yeah, he does have a good history in this team. But yeah, I think, guys, against this Pacers matchup, I think Dante can cash us out. So that's going to be the first pick, Dante DiVincenzo over 17.5 points, rebounds, and assists. Jumping to my second pick, I'm taking Kon Knueppel over 14.5 points. Now, this line, guys, has moved a lot already. He's now at 16.5 points. But, I definitely see Kon Knueppel having an amazing game for sure in this Celtics matchup. But for this play, we're taking him at 14.5. So, jumping into Kon Knueppel here, he's over in 12 out of his last 20 games, averaging 17 points. And in his last 10 games, he's averaging only 14.9 points, only over in 4 of his last 10. However, I think this is a fantastic matchup for Kon to go over. If you guys just take a look, you guys can see, take a look at all that green. You guys know Kon Knueppel, one of the best 3-point shooters in the NBA. He scores 47% of his points from above the break, and the Celtics are the worst team at defending above the break threes. And they're also the 7th worst catch and shoot defense, which is how Kon Knueppel scores 50% of his points. So yeah, I really like this spot for Kon Knueppel. How will Kon Knueppel respond? Cooper Flag just dropped like 2 50 balls. And I think Kon Knueppel could have some motivation in this game to, have a great game for sure. And looking at his play type analysis, middle of the pack. Nothing to really look at here. Similar players versus the Celtics. 9 of the last 15 similar players have gone over, averaging 3% more points. And then head to head against this team, he's dropped 20 points and 13 points, and I really love the volume. He took 14 shots here and 13 shots here against the Boston Celtics already this season. And let's just play with the filters on Props Madness. Being conservative, I think he's going to shoot 12 plus shots. With 12 plus shots, he's now over in 14 out of his last 20 games, averaging 19.9 points. Like, you guys can see recently, he hasn't just shooting pretty poorly. But with this matchup, I definitely see Kon Knueppel having a great game and cashing us out. So that's going to be the second play. Kon Knueppel over 14.5 points. My final pick is going to be Darius Garland over 19.5 points. So jumping to Darius Garland here, I'm taking Garland over 19.5 points. So you guys can take a look. Garland has been cooking recently. In his last 20 games, he's over in 12 of the last 20, averaging 20.3 points. In his last 10 games, over in 5 of the last 10. But you guys can see a lot of these games were blowouts, massive blowouts. Just take a look at the minutes. The games where he goes under, usually, they're blowouts. So this game, honestly, does have some blowout risks as well. But I'm hoping for a competitive game. And let's just play with the minutes real quick. So if this game is not a blowout, he's gonna play 25 plus minutes. With 25 plus minutes, He's now over in 7 out of his last 10 games, averaging 22.7 points. And now he faces a Dallas Mavericks defense that just a dream matchup for Darius Garland. Looking at shooting zones, you guys can see all that green under the rim and in the paint. The Mavericks are allowing the second most points to the restricted area, which is how he scores 20% of his points. The fourth most points to the paint, which is how he scores 21% of his points. And you guys can see orange around above the break, but if you guys look at the last 15 games, this Mavericks team has just been absolutely terrible in from above the break. They now allow the fifth most points to above the break threes, which is how Garland scores 44% of his points. You guys can see bottom 10 defense in the pick and roll. Bottom 10 defense in transition as well. Catch and shoot, less than 10 feet, all green. Third most points to catch and shoot, fourth most points to less than 10 feet. Yeah, guys. This is just another brilliant matchup for Darius Garland to keep on scoring the ball. You know, his usage rate is very high. The offense is just flowing through him. Also, Kawhi Leonard, you know, they're on a back-to-back schedule. Maybe Kawhi Leonard can get less minutes in this game, and yeah, Garland gets more opportunities to score. But yeah, as long as this game stays somewhat competitive, I think we have a great shot of cashing Garland over 19.5 points. And head-to-head, the game did go to OT, but he dropped 41 points in his last matchup against the Mavericks this season. So yeah, I really like this spot for Garland. That's going to be the final pick, taking Garland over 19.5 points. So that's going to be the 3 picks on this play. You guys can tail this play on Parlay Play. If you guys don't have Parlay Play yet, you guys can use code BankO'Brien to sign up, and you'll get a 100% deposit match up to $100. Really love using Parlay Play. It has probably one of the best lines in the industry. But yeah, you guys can take a look. Like I always mention, guys, feel free to take what you guys like, fade the ones you guys don't like. But that's going to be today's free picks. So before we get into the lean section, if you guys use code BankO'Brien on Parlay Play or any of my affiliate apps such as Dabble, Chalkboard, or Sleeper, you guys can use code BankO'Brien on these apps and claim a free month of VIP. Normally, VIP is $35 a month, but you guys can join right now completely for free. No risk, no commitment. If you guys don't like it afterwards, you guys can just cancel. So just text me a screenshot of proof that you deposited with my code, and I'll hook you up. You guys can also do the same thing with Pickett. So use code BankO'Brien to sign up on Pickett and text me a screenshot as well. Make sure to link a sportsbook, by the way, when you sign up to Pickett. And I'll also hook you up with 5 days of free VIP. I really recommend getting Pickett. Tracks all your bets, holds you accountable. Shows how much profit you're up. I mean, you guys can see my Pickett last year, 284 units of profit. This year, we're definitely breaking 300 for sure. So, yeah. But let's just jump into the lean section. So, jumping into the lean section here. So, in the same game, a lean I have is actually Cooper Flag under his points. Now, this man has cashed me. Guys, I literally took his overs against the Magic, against the Lakers. These matchups, incredibly soft. Incredibly soft matchup, guys. Terrible defenses. But he now faces a Clippers defense. A pretty tough matchup for Cooper. You guys can see how he scores his points. 37% of his points come from the restricted area. And they're a top 10 defense there. Pretty average in the paint. Mid-range, pretty good at defending. 60% of his points come from less than 10 feet. And yeah, you guys can see they're also a bottom 10 defense at guarding shots from less than 10 feet. You guys can see they guard the pick and roll, transition, free throws, spot up, isolation pretty well. And yeah, 4 of the last 10 similar players to Cooper have gone under, averaging 17% less points. So Cooper has been cooking. Also, they are the best defense against forwards as well. You guys can see all the red. They also play at the second slowest pace in the league, which is going to reduce possessions. So, yeah, honestly, I really like Cooper under. This is a pretty strong lean I have. I think guys, I think I can cash 3 straight times on Cooper here. I like Cooper's under. So that's a lean I have. Cooper under his points. Another pick I was looking at is Jason Tatum. I think Jason Tatum, he could do his PRA, he could do his points. He has been cooking recently. He's over in 5 straight games. And now he faces a Hornets defense that, they're terrible in the pick and roll, which is how he scores 30% of his points. They allow the third most points to the pick and roll. So this is a pretty great matchup for Tatum. This season recently, he already dropped 32 points against his team. He's playing very good minutes. You guys can see last couple of games, playing way over 30 minutes. And even in blowouts, you guys can see blowouts, 31 minutes still. In competitive games, such as this Heat game, played 37. So you guys can see his usage rate. Usage rate is very strong over his last 5 games. He's running the offense more, shooting more shots. So I was liking Tatum here. Points over his points. PRA is also pretty solid as well. And then I was also looking at some James Jacquaz Jr. unders. So James Jacquaz Jr. here. Now the line has moved quite a bit already. So probably this line is probably too efficient. Hard Rock at 19.5. I think that's pretty solid. But you guys can take a look. Tyler Hero, Norman Powell. Bam. We got a fully healthy Heat squad here. So, with Bam Adebayo, with Tyler Hero, with Norman Powell, he's under this line. He's under in 6 out of his last 13. He's only over in 6 out of his last 13, averaging 20.7 PRA. And now he faces a horrific matchup, guys. Take a look at all the red, how he scores his points. His main play type is transition, and they're the second best team at defending transition buckets. And yeah, slow pace matchup, reduces possessions, harder to score, rebound, and get assists. Top 10 of defense rating. So yeah, I was looking at some James Jacquaz Jr. unders here. But yeah, I think that's it for today's free pick video. Gonna be researching more on the VIP side. So if you guys are interested, if you guys enjoyed the video, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and peace.